again, everybody. I have another question that's been asked about women's martial arts. Uh, I I have taught women before, and I've been asked if I teach women as a separate class, and I've also been asked if there are any women's only classes with a women instructor. Um, I understand how if Muslim women want to, because of their rules, they have to only train with other women, so they really can get in contact. They're only in physical contact with other women, and having a man there for them is inappropriate, even if it is the instructor. So the question came and asked me about women's martial arts and how I would teach them. So initially I thought, okay, let me see, let me look this up. And so I looked up a few martial arts in the area, if I can advise and introduce other schools to them, and I looked on YouTube and I see all these women self-defense taught by men, and a lot of them are just say it's a certain martial art, say Krav Maga or Wing Chun, and they teach a separate thing to the ladies, like a set form. Majority is anti-grappling or to something to do with sexual harassment or grabbing the handbag. Very stereotypical stuff. Probably that's, in terms of I don't know the probability, maybe that is the majority of why or how women get attacked. But obviously the question for me was, why has women got a different syllabus, martial arts syllabus, than the average Joe in some of these cases? So does that mean the women's classes are more superior than the men's because the women's classes are simplified and more easier and combat effective or street effective than the traditional the long-winded syllabus? Or is it that women's courses is too simple and not really teaching you enough for self-defense and is a good way to make money? Okay, so I had a look at all of these and try to use my knowledge to see if it's really effective or not. Okay, they try to be as most of these styles try to be as simple as possible. They try to assume that basically women don't want to train, they're not up for it, or but the truth is, martial arts, you have to have a few attributes to do a martial arts, and you have to have patience, and you have to have good willpower and strength and conditioning, and you got to be very technical, because any sort of attack on the street is very chaotic. You might be lucky because some men see women as very vulnerable, very easy, so they don't expect them to react with some martial art techniques or martial art knowledge, and that could actually save you, in my opinion. But if you get someone who's very malicious, who's really out to get you, really doesn't like you, I find that very difficult with the things they're taught, these simplified versions of women's self-defense. And in the olden times, like, women did train. There was women did train in Aikido, women did train in Kung Fu, and Wing Chun was a women's martial arts created for women, but so many men do it. So women's martial arts. Yes, I do. If women are to train, I do not believe that they should have a special syllabus, unless you're doing a quick course how to learn the basics of self-defense. If you're teaching like your specialities in your field of art, I think they should go into it and start from the very beginning and work their way up. Maybe some women don't have the time to go through 10 years of training or 5 years of training, and they have to go through these simplified. But in my opinion, they should go through the syllabus that everyone else is doing. In my opinion, the fast syllabus should be for those, maybe for quick learning for just mothers or teachers or something. Just a quick introduction, and a quick give them a few tips. So that will introduce them and give them the reason to go to a school to learn the long syllabus. Obviously, the hard part about teaching is for women is to have a women's instructor, is to find a women's instructor. There are a few around, but not many, and majority of the martial art fanatics are majority men. Not being sexist, but that's the truth. Majority of the combat athletes are male orientated. Boxing, MMA, judo, you name it. You get some really good women fighters, but there are a lot fewer. You can see the roster is a lot smaller, no matter how you say it. So sometimes I think you have to bite the bullet and at least have a male instructor teaching, with possibly a male assistant, so he can demonstrate it on, because some of the moves that you need to learn will be quite powerful or quite devastating to the body. So sometimes the instructor will need to perform it on someone, so he'll have an assistant. Excuse me. That he can demonstrate his power on. Yes. Obviously, the other question is: should women train with men? Obviously, if you can, I think you should. Obviously, because training with men is more realistic. Majority of attackers are men, or majority of attackers are big men, or strong men, or people stronger than you. So for me, I'm a small guy. I always train with big dudes. Everyone's bigger than me at the gym, so at the club. So for me, I always find it difficult to overcome these guys through power. So I have to use strategy and speed, and this will open the light for women a lot more. So if they train with men, they'll understand, oh, this is tougher than I expected. The problem with women and men training together is, I've noticed in my experience, that men, not women's fault, men get distracted when women are around, and I think they try to flirt with them, and they try to show off to them, and the martial arts school, it should be there for everyone to learn and treat everyone the same, be it men, women, sex, whatever religion. You're all there to train. You treat them all as equal, and it should be able to train self-defense, because self-defense is an art that is learning to hit or hurt people, or learn to defend against hit or grappling, so forth, whatever, knife attack. So a martial arts school could be a dangerous environment, like people could be fighting, sparring or throwing, and if you're there not concentrating and looking or chatting with the opposite sex, and you get hit or you get thrown or accidents happen and you're not aware, this is not good. And it's not good for the school as well. It's, people are there to train and not flirt, and the school just becomes silly. By all means, or do whatever you need to do. Chat with whoever inside, outside the class. But during the class, you should be here to learn and not be distracted. Another problem is sometimes I know the men are just sometimes, they're like gentlemen sometimes, and they want to let the lady win, or let the lady overcome them, or or don't go full power on her, or not full, but they go they're a lot nicer than usual. I know when you're sparring or you're training techniques, you should be controlled, but when they're with a female, they're overly controlled, to the point that the female thinks that she's very strong and very effective, and this is bad, because this gives her a false sense of security. She thinks she's shit hot at her moves, but she doesn't realize that the dude that she's training with is just being extra nice to her, and just falling over for her, or not hitting her straight in the face, or not hitting her hard, or not grappling her hard enough, letting her do the technique, and if she constantly goes through this after partner, she's gonna just believe she's like invincible. And I've seen a few female martial artists that are like that, and sometimes they get shocked when they spar with someone else who or train with someone who treats her as an equal, and they find it hard to understand why is this happening. So I know sometimes you have to be gentle to a woman. You don't want to hurt her. You have to be controlled, but you don't want to be overly nice. And if you are overly nice, just let her know that, oh, I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable being aggressive at you. So let her know, so she knows, oh, this guy's just being nice, so she doesn't get too cocky about her techniques. But training with men, obviously Muslims and some other religions or faiths or whatever their culture is, or sometimes their ethics forbid them to train with other men. Just means you have to train harder if you are a woman. You have to train harder anyway. But women have to drive sometimes. I believe that women are here created to protect their child, so when they need to, they can protect themselves if they had to. But obviously having technique, having knowledge will give you that edge over your attacker or whatever the situation is. I hope that's covered enough. Please like and subscribe. I hope to see you again. Thank you.